Okay, let's actually hear that the biggest fight is happening right now. Well, it does seem a little bit like yeah, it doesn't seem like things are going well for 1606 right now. Mr. Hey, hello man. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream, brother. How's your weekend going? Well, whatever is remaining out of it, I guess. How are you doing? I'm actually doing fine, man. I'm doing amazingly well. I had a visit from my parents yesterday. We celebrate my father's like birthday. And yeah, I just finished up with them, and now we are just watching, spectating some KVK. But yeah, I'm doing amazing, man. How are you doing? I was interested in seeing like 3208 KVK ever since like yesterday, but I just couldn't because I had like people over. Now I noticed that a lot of people were like streaming it, and I do understand why. Everyone wants to see like 1606 and all the other kingdoms, like seeing whoever is gonna win in here. Personally, seeing at the state of the KVK right now, I do believe that unfortunately this KVK is like 70-30%, like 70% I believe that the fire and wind camp have already like secured the Kingsland. Now the fact that the fire camp came all the way from here and they settled and they made like a fort in here to fight from this side is something, because they're now playing as a unified front, which is basically means that now they can help each other. Because, well, let's be honest, the earth camp was a little bit in a weak state around here, so this is actually something that you don't really see much. It's a really like once in a while type of scenario. But I guess that between the earth camp not fighting at all and the earth camp actually fighting with support from the water camp, this is like a lot better. My weekend has been good. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm glad to hear that. Like, how are you like at work? Correct me if I'm wrong, but do you not do the what was like the copywriter, or am I like misjudging you for someone else? Yeah, okay, like the water camp 1606 does appear to be like pretty powerful, I'm not gonna lie. That being said, them fighting two enemies at the same time is by no means easy. So they are actually fighting two enemies at the same time. They are fighting both the fire camp as well as the wind camp. The earth camp is trying to put some fight in a down zone, but yeah, they really cannot do much. Right now they're like in a really weakened state, even though I'm seeing that the fire camp has actually like burned a few. Has actually like burned a few from the flags from the fire camp. I love the new view, by the way. Like the new zoom out, I feel like it's amazing. It's a lot easier for you to understand what exactly is going on in the KVK. And yeah. Now I'm not the copywriter, I'm the guy who helped build with a small YouTube channel. Well, I do remember the fact that I'm helping you with your YouTube channel, brother. It's just that I didn't remember much about what it is that you did in your personal life. There's a guy in here who's like a copywriter. I just don't remember who he is, and I thought that was you, I'm not gonna lie. So the fact that I have like so many people coming over to my stream sometime, and all of them with like a different story, there are like times when I just forget about everyone. So I'm really sorry if at times it appears like you are telling me all over again like who you are in your personal life, and I just keep to like forgetting. But yeah, trust me, it happens. Like if you ever like well, not if you ever, like whenever your YouTube stream takes like its own form and shape, and you have like 10 to 15 or 20 different people who actually like stop by your stream regularly, you will actually have that problem as well, trust me. Not to justify myself, of course, because I'm not saying that there is like a good justification. I'm just saying like it is something that happens. And honestly, a lot of streamers don't really go too much into like personal detail of the viewer, because they don't want to do this, because they understand very well that it's easy to well, to mismatch someone for someone else, to the point where they literally feel like disrespected, or as if they do not matter anymore to the streamer. But yeah, personally, I love to ask people about their day and how everything was, and I love to hear about their personal problems, you know, like I just I'm that type of person. I'm not good with names. Yeah, like names is something that I don't do. Like we have like this new people at work right now, and I believe it's a girl, and she told me her name like 3 times, and I still keep forgetting about it, to the point where tomorrow I will probably ask her again like what her name is. And yeah, it feels bad at times, because I don't want to do that. Trust me, I don't want to be the bad guy who goes around and just acts as if like he's disrespectful. I'm definitely not trying to be, you know, like I'm definitely not trying to be disrespectful, but yeah, it's just the way it is sometimes. Now, I'm loving one thing in this KVK. Going back to the KVK for like a second, they are actually fighting with unified fronts for once, and they have only one front of war. So for 1606 they're fighting only here, and for the Earth camp they're fighting only here. So they're not trying to fight like all over the map. Instead, they have focused like points of fighting, which is really good, and I feel like this is really gonna help them quite a bit. That being said, I'm not seeing the Earth camp in a really good position. They seem to be quite weak, if I might say so, to the point where I don't feel like they will be able to do much. I wish I'm wrong, like maybe this is not their active hours and everything, but that doesn't appear to be the case personally. Like it really doesn't appear to be the case. The good thing is that they're not fighting in here. The good thing is that they are not fighting in here. When it comes to the water camp, they've secured the borders from the they've secured the borders from both like the wind side as well as the fire side. Meanwhile, the fire camp unfortunately does not does not have that luck. Like they are actually being pressured probably from like both sides in here, even though they're not really pushing. Some people take that very personal. Yes, some people do take that really personal whenever you do not remember their names, or whenever you do not remember as to who they are and what they do. And it's only normal, because in your life technically you feel like as if you do not matter. But trust me, when it comes to my YouTube channel, that is not the point. I'm just I'm regularly going with people back and forth, everything like small details about their life, and then someone new comes, he has like some new details about his life, and sometimes it's easy to actually mess that stuff up. How's the diplomacy of the KVK? Well, it's actually cross map KVK. So we have the Earth camp, who's allied with the water camp, and the fire camp, who's allied with the wind camp. So right now we have I would say like the majority of the KVK, like about 70% of the Kingsland, it's actually occupied by the wind camp as well as the fire camp. The Earth camp, which was about here, they actually lost their territory, so they did something amazing called, they actually now are building into the water camp. So they've built in here the fort, and they're pushing from this side, trying to be like as supportive as possible to their allies. Now the water camp is appearing to be pretty strong when it comes to like holding their own, but the problem is that both the fire camp as well as the wind camp, they are both in a really good position. They are both really strong, to the point where it's almost a 2 versus 1. So the Earth camp is almost non-existent right now. They lost their land in here. They are trying to fight. Like thankfully, like the water camp gave them some positioning, so they can maybe like try and hold off the enemy just a little bit more in here. But it appears like they are fighting right now. All they have is basically, well, even though they have 2 gates, they have only built from 1 gate. So they're only fighting from this zone right here. 70% of the Kingsland is already secured by the fire and the wind. So personally, I feel like maybe it's too soon to speak, but I believe that by tomorrow, I would not be surprised if this KVK has been already settled. Now 1606 is a really good KVK, is a really good and powerful kingdom, okay? So everyone was expecting this kingdom to win, I guess, to the point where if you go like on YouTube and you see people who are like streaming this KVK, almost all of them are looking at this from like the 1606 perspective. And the 1606, by the way, is on the water camp. Cross map is very painful. When one camp is fully locked, it is over. Yes, unfortunately, yes. I feel like what the water camp has done, which is give their allies, give them like some map to fight over on their own side, I would say it's a smart strategy, but at the same time it's like a double-edged sword, because even though you as the water camp, you could have like secured this border a lot better than your allies, you actually gave land to your allies, but because they are not as strong as you are, chances are that the water camp is going to lose this land a lot quicker now that they have actually gifted it, if I may say so, to their allies. So yeah, I feel like on one side it would not have been like the worst case scenario if the earth camp kept fighting from their own side. On the other hand, I do understand why the water camp had to do it. Otherwise probably the fire camp would have just gave up and not fought at all. Probably they would have like surrendered the KVK, but because the water camp gave them the position to fight again, now at least they have a little bit of help. So even with an ally which is not in a good position to fight, at least they are doing something rather than being like completely offline. So instead of a 2 versus 1, it's kind of like a 2 versus 1.5 something, you know. The enemy still has the advantage, they are like a lot more powerful, but at least you have your allies putting some work. Not too much, but still something. So, but it is like a double-edged sword, like I said. Technically, even though you are having your allies help you, you gave them land, which is your land. So now, your allies, you just have to hope that they can hold on to the land you gave them as well as you could have. Because that's basically like what you are fighting for. You are fighting for territory. The moment that you give your losing ally territory, you are giving them from your own share. And you have to, I guess, hope that they can do something beneficial to you with that. Yeah, they can get much more people in. Yes, I feel like them letting the earth camp in was something. It might help them quite a bit. But on the other hand, though, it's not appearing to be that case. Like, look at this. This is basically all the wind camp right here. So if I go in here, we have the water camp who's trying to fight versus the fire. But look at them. Look at them moving down here. Like, this is how painful it is. It is a double-edged sword. Personally, I would have probably done the same thing that 1606 did, because it's impossible to win 1 versus 2. So at least if you give your allies a little bit of land, there's hope in it. But yes, I completely understand how this can really backfire. And yes, like these guys are basically hardly, if I may say so, like let me just switch to like the earth camp for like a second. This is the earth camp right now. This is the earth camp state right now. This is their only battlefield as to where they are fighting. They're not fighting anywhere else, and this is how the situation is looking for them. So unfortunately, it's in a really bad state. The wind camp is really strong. The water camp is, honestly, it's really strong. Like, I feel like on 1 versus 1, I don't know who would ever win, the wind or the earth, the wind or like the water camp. But it's not a 1v1. It's actually like a 2 versus 1. The fire camp is actually jumping in. They're really powerful. They're like in a really good position. They are basically both fighting the wind from here to the point where it's impossible. So this is what the water camp is doing right now. They are trying to basically cut off the supply lines from their for their like enemies. But that being said, while that is happening, these guys, like the wind camp, is totally swarming. It's completely like swarming the tower that you see in here. So I don't see any way. I don't see in any possible way how the water camp can actually win this. Even I did my Champions of Olympia right now. I did mine as well, brother. I actually won mine. Oh, you mean Champions of Olympia? Oh, my bad, man. No, I didn't do the Champions of Olympia. I did the Ark of Osiris. And honestly, I won mine. It was really good. I got my 10k points. If anything, I believe I got like 16,000 points. It was worth it. It was definitely worth it. I feel like the Ark of Osiris this week was really beneficial to me. I got 1000 AP as well, so why not? It was amazing. But when it comes to Champions of Olympia, man, I'm just not loving the new map. Like, it's so bad. I have no words. Like, I don't know how to put it. The new Champions of Olympia map, it's so bad, at least for my taste and my liking, to the point where I just cannot enjoy it anymore. Even like before, I was at least playing Champions of Olympia enough to get my like 12 points and everything, but now I'm not even finding the fun in playing, like even the unranked mode. I wouldn't say fun, I would say like mostly like determination. So I'm not even finding the determination anymore to keep playing Champions of Olympia. The new map is just terribly bad, in my opinion. I don't know how anyone can love a map where the whole objective is to run after the objective. So it's a fighting type of game, but it's whoever is the fastest wins. Like, it completely destroys the whole purpose of Rise of Kingdoms as a game. So what do you mean? Like, technically I have like some really strong marches, and you're telling me, well, the strong marches do not even matter anymore. It's all about whoever has the fastest marches. So yeah, I'm probably not gonna play Champions of Olympia anymore, man. It's getting really annoying. I don't know, like, if as much as I care about the golden star and the golden like statue and everything, I don't feel like I'm gonna be playing another Champions of Olympia game in my life. Like, it's really getting bad. It's really like, even when I started playing Rise of Kingdoms, I always hated the event, but it's becoming even worse with every new map that they're putting in. This is like an honest opinion. This is not me trying to be like rude to the game developers or anything like that. I completely respect all of them, but I have an opinion when it comes to the game in general. There's a lot of stuff I love about Rise of Kingdoms, and there's a lot of stuff that I do not love about Rise of Kingdoms, and Champions of Olympia is just one of those. Look at my rank. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I didn't notice your rank. I'm sorry. You're Ascended Sage. Congratulations, man. I'm like silver or something, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I will probably not be anything more than that, because I don't find the joy in playing it. Oh, they are swarming. Like, the water camp is actually swarming. I love this thing. Like, instead of playing defensive mode, they know that they cannot go defensive, so they're at least trying to swarm something. They are burning this flag again, trying to get some ground versus the enemies, trying to like do some back pedaling and everything. But look at the wind camp. They're trying to come from behind. They are actually trying to come from behind in here. Now, if I was the water camp, I would probably like retreat, because you are already in like a deep position. Yeah, okay, maybe just get the tower. True, really good idea. Swarm the tower. Let's go. Will they get it? I feel like 100% they should. By swarming it, they should be able to get it. Yeah. That being said, it's being defended really well. They should swarm it more. Like, either swarm it or just don't go for it at all. Like, everyone should swarm this thing right now. Go, just a little bit more. You got this. You got this. Let's go. Let's go. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Yeah, just a tiny little bit more. Let's go. You got this. They cannot reinforce fast enough. Guys, don't focus on the fighting. Focus on the tower. Let's go. Good job. Retreat. See, okay. There should be a little bit more coordination when it comes to swarming a tower. So if you're gonna do it, it's already risky enough. You are already like losing too many troops. So if you are like gonna swarm a tower, you really need to be coordinated. So if you see like a flag which says swarm the tower, just do it. There's no more like, well, my troops, his troops, their troops. You just do it. Like the kingdom, the king gave the order. We are going to swarm this tower. So we are going to do it as soon as possible. We are going to swarm the damn tower and we are going to get away. That is crazy. At this time there are really big kingdoms on the hand. Yes, the 1365 and the 2377 is also starting really soon, and I cannot wait for that to start, man. I'm not gonna lie. 1365 and 2377 is probably going to be one of the biggest KVKs that you've ever seen, and I cannot wait for it to start. I'm just hoping that the fighting time is going to be around the time that I'm at home, but even if not, the fact that they're like all Imperium KVKs, it means that they probably will be fighting for like days. So even if I'm not at home whenever the KVK starts, which is kind of like the most interesting moment of the fight, I still should be able to make it home to see them fight later, you know. So I'm not particularly like that worried about it. Like I'm not that worried when it comes to seeing the fight, but I'm really waiting for it. Now I don't know about you guys or who you are rooting for, but personally I want to see 1365 kick ass, man. Again, no disrespect to the no disrespect to the 2377. I always like 1365 just a little bit better because of 12-inch PPNS and everything. Yo, man, they're losing so many flags. Like, okay, they burned one enemy flag, but they're losing so many. So they actually are burning this one. They are burning this one. Yeah, okay, they swarmed this one. Yeah, I thought they swarmed this one, but nah. Aver, what is the MG? The mightiest governor? Oh, it's not archers. It's not archers. I believe it's like leadership or something. Yeah, I believe it's like leadership or something, man. Yeah, we got some nice stuff in here. 2 target teleports. We got some gems. Why not? Let me check. Honestly, I have no idea. I'm not gonna lie. All I know is that it's not archers or anything that I was interested in, so I never went for it. Yeah, okay, yeah. It's not archers, man. So technically, there's nothing in here that I need. I thought about it, but there's honestly nothing in here that I actually need, man. So I could have gone for it for like fun, but yeah.